Hello, I'm Keegan Sickles with Preservation Dayton, and I'm out at the Kerr-Drill Cemetery, or known as Florence Cemetery. I'm just going to do a walkthrough quick to show you kind of the existing conditions and what work I've been doing over the past 8 months or so to try and get it back into shape. So here we go. So at the entrance to the cemetery here is a pillar of a couple of dislodged headstones in various pieces. There was a second one over here to the left that got destroyed. So there are 4 headstones in here. This section down here actually belongs up here. There's another headstone on the back side here, and then again on this side. Back in like the early 2000s, there was a limestone path that ran along the length of this, kind of in a wavy or a winding pattern. So there's a lot of loose limestone sitting around the cemetery. It makes it a little difficult to try and determine which chunks and pieces belong to which headstones, but we got several large trees that were fallen and removed, and as you can see, there are a couple along the periphery that are also falling. This is our chunk of rubble, but this is the large obelisk that I mentioned in our application. As you can see, it's got a border stone section to mark the plot, and this is all of the pieces. So you can see the obelisk is broken off there. There's the top chunk of it. The cap is here. Mid base is broken in half, and there's another mid base. It's leveled. This is the edge of the cemetery. There's kind of a split rail fence there. And then these are the chunks of headstones that we found throughout that section that used to belong in that pillar that was destroyed. And so there are some chunks here that we just don't know where they go yet, but they're here in case we need them. A couple of headstones here in various pieces. Some of these have been epoxied together. We left, like, for example, this sliver off the edge in case we found the chunk in the middle. But a lot of these headstones are fallen and broken in half. This is a fairly degraded marble. I don't know if anything can be done with that, but headstones and footstones just about everywhere. All of them are marked with pink flags for what we found. For potential excavation and resetting. A couple of slotted bases. Military headstone there. Over here is a headstone that was set back upright, but it has a slotted base and it wasn't put in that base for whatever reason. This stone is interesting because it's got a bunch of chunks embedded in concrete. I don't know that there's anything salvageable about that, but along the edge of the cemetery here, you can see there are a lot of headstones as well. So there's one buried here under all these leaves. And then there's a significant grade change right along the edge. So this is primarily the Hueys along the edge here, but again, several broken pieces, a lot of slotted bases that do exist, and they just don't have the headstones in them. Along the edge here, a lot of broken off chunks. I don't know what they belong to. Here are a couple of projects. So a couple of good chunk of that headstone is missing as of right now. This one was epoxied earlier this year, and we found the top piece of it, and then the slotted base should be the bottom half of that. This headstone is missing the middle chunk of these 2 marble pieces. And then over here are a couple of large limestone tablets. I reassembled and epoxied them together so that they would stay in place and they wouldn't be moved. But there's quite a bit of infill on some of them as well. But as you can see, there's a nice little line of them here. Some of them have been reset. This one was embedded in a base of concrete that was too small for it. And so we cleaned all of that up and found most of the missing pieces. There's a little bit of concrete cleanup at the top of this trunk of marble in order to get those to marry a little better. But that's the Florence Cemetery. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My number here is at 937-396-9179. Again, kind of around the trees are various chunks of headstones. There's a base but no headstone present. Off on the side is a smaller set of family plots. So this is the Rice family. And as you can see, they're embedded in the trees. A couple of footstones. We found some and epoxied those back in place. A lot of brush was cleared this summer. And so there is still supposedly another headstone buried in here somewhere, but there's a headstone that has fallen in two pieces. This headstone is in three pieces right now with a piece missing. So there's the top and center, and I believe this is the right half of the bottom that's buried in the ground. So about a third of the buried portion of this is missing. I don't know how that happened, but trying to decide what we do with that. So yeah, I just want to thank you for your consideration and hope to hear from you soon. Thank you so much. All right, bye.